So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So before I even get to my intro, have y'all streamed my new song Ceremony? It has been out for almost a week now and the link is down below. Even if you're not into my type of music, at least give me a chance and listen to it and let me know. I want to see y'all definitely listening to Ceremony all summer long. Again, I'm going to be dropping music pretty much every other month, even more frequent than that, so definitely stay tuned. Oh, and another thing, I did fix my microphone. I was using it backwards, so y'all let me know about this new audio quality if you like this sound so I can keep it up. Definitely looking forward to y'all's comments. So by the title, we're going to be doing another compilation video, and surprisingly, this is our 30th compilation video, so shout out to us. So on the docket tonight, we have First Lady Jill Biden inviting the LSU women's basketball team, who were the winners of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship this past week, to the White House, but also extending the invitation to the losing team, which was the University of Iowa. Also, Lil Durk and India seemingly being back together after fans speculate that the mysterious hand in Lil Durk's recent Instagram post belongs to India. And lastly, Jayda Cheaves being dragged for her surgical changes to her face and addressing the commentary about the alterations about her looks. So y'all know what to do. Number each story, story number 1, story number 2, and story number 3, just so that we can have some organization in the comment section. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first story that we have is Jayda Cheaves addressing the internet, talking about the differences in her face from what I would say is like 2017 to 2019 versus now. So according to the blog, It's On Site, shout out to them as always, the headline reads, Jayda Cheaves claps back after social commentators discuss her looks in viral tweet. So the initial tweet literally said, WTF happened to her, and is accompanied by this video of Jayda singing one of Lil Baby's songs, rocking this 1B to 27 wig, and just vibing out. I actually think Jayda looks beautiful in this video. I love the hair color, and I think she just looks effortlessly pretty right here.
Talk about this video and what the fuck happened to her. This the same time I had them big ass chompers in my damn mouth, the fucking fat ass veneers, and y'all dragged me. And y'all say I look better here with the chompers? Oh, y'all can suck my dick!
So commentators on Twitter made observations about this, and they read, and to y'all who's saying she looked the same, be so for real with yourself. And then somebody else posted a side-by-side picture of Jayda from a few years ago versus Jayda in a very recent photo and said, she does look the same. Another person said, damn, I did not recognize her with the hair color too. And then someone said, she had an eyelid surgery, lip and cheek filler, nothing wrong with it, but it'll definitely change your features, which was her goal. Then someone said, her and Jazz, who is her sister, used to be twins. Now Jayda looks totally different. Still pretty, but it's a big difference. And this person also included a side-by-side picture of her now versus a few years ago. And then lastly, someone said, y'all happened to her. The same people screaming they want black women to be natural get on the internet and bully beautiful women all day, every day. And I will say, I don't think people bully Jayda for her looks until she changed them. I feel like she was very much promoted for what she looked like when she was natural. But here are my thoughts. I think Jayda's reaction is actually cool. Like, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just there because she did take a humorous route to it, and I think that's way better than what she used to do, which was adamantly clap back at strangers on the internet. I just feel like at this point, she's been honest about the work that she's gotten done, and maybe she's been forced to be honest because people have called her out, but she's been honest. But I will say that I feel like her reacting to the internet every single time that someone calls her out about her facial changes is showing a sign of uncertainty and maybe insecurity, because she's already addressed all of this at least twice in the past. I wouldn't even say anything anymore because every few months someone is comparing a picture of her before her facial changes versus now, and I think it's clear that she does look different. I also wanted to say that for the people saying that she doesn't look different, stop lying. Like, please stop lying. Stop the cap. Cut the malarkey. Cut the malarkey. Like, Pinocchio nose is stretching from New York to LA with the lies. She doesn't look different in a sense where she's botched or deformed or ugly, but she does look different because her face did change. That's just honesty. From her eyelid surgery that she admitted to, she most definitely looks different in the eyes, as well as the shape of her face. She used to have like a more square head shape, and now she has more of a V head shape. And I know Ari, who is a fellow Instagram influencer with the same celebrity as Jayda, has also changed her head shape, or at least maybe their chin shape. I think I saw briefly actually on Instagram the other day, Ari was addressing people because people kept saying that her head was so big, and she basically said that she knows her head is big, but she went from having like a chubby face that was more round, and a lot of these girls are getting the chin lipo and getting the Kybella to dissolve the chin fat, and also getting cheek fillers to lift up the top of their face. Honestly, every day I look in the mirror, I thank God that I was blessed with certain features, because I didn't know that having high cheekbones was such a commodity. And I know when I was young, people used to be like, oh, you have such high cheekbones, and I was like, is this a compliment or not? But now that I'm older, and now that it's the look that people are paying for, I thank God I possess these beautiful African features naturally. I always thought that I just had chubby cheeks and looked like a baby, but I guess that's just cool now. I'll see what the style is in 2 years from today. But yes, Jayda does look different, but she doesn't look bad. And to say that she looks the same when clearly there's a difference, that's just the cult-like fan base of young people that don't want to be honest about their favorite influencer. Like, there's a clear difference in her face, be honest. The last thing I want to say is that I'm tired of this excuse of let people do what they want. Why do you care what someone else does? You're just a hater if you speak against what somebody else is doing. That is just not true. These women have influenced a generation of women to be insecure. Their insecurities have now become influential. I don't even think that at this point it's about telling people to get a BBL or lipo or whatever. I think what has really happened now that I sit back and look at the last few years of social media, insecurities is what is influential. Meaning, we all know that everybody has insecurities, and so what the celebrities and influencers have done or capitalized off of is insecurities that they themselves have and that they know that other people share. And I'm not accusing Jayda of telling people to get surgical alterations. I don't think she ever did that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what I'm saying is that their influence alone is going to convey that to their audience because they make it look as if it's so easy and so feasible and so attainable. And it low-key is now. You can put surgical work on layaway or on care credit. People want to call you a hater or actually call you insecure for calling stuff like this out. But I'm sorry, I refuse to shut up, let alone accept the fact that I'm a hater when I didn't hate myself enough to go and change myself and somebody else did. There's nothing to hate on when the realities of getting all of these facial changes and body changes isn't necessarily a positive thing. There's more negative to it than there is positive. And I feel like people are just now starting to wake up, even though there are channels like me who have been speaking about this stuff for years. And it wasn't until maybe 2022 when people started to say, well, maybe I shouldn't get a BBL. Maybe there is too much of a risk of getting some work done. Maybe we shouldn't be filling our lips and our faces in our 20s when we're not even aging that fast, let alone our skin isn't really sagging for us to fill it up. I just think that this generation of teens and people in their 20s are doing so many things prematurely, and it all comes down to insecurity. I even had somebody in my comment section say the other day that I had a big nose, as if I don't know that I look like a pretty Elmo. Like, come on now. And I said I wouldn't change my nose, which I would never do. And I guess this person was insinuating that one day I will, but it's like, I won't, because if I change my nose, I wouldn't even look like myself. And as much as I used to not like my nose when I was a kid, I've grown to like it because I've grown to realize that everybody has insecurities. And insecurities are at such an all-time high that I take solace in being natural and still being just as pretty as the next person who has surgical enhancements. People are literally paying for cheekbones like mine, and I never even knew that until recently. People are also literally paying for lips like mine. So I just feel like, take heed of all of this before you do it. Jayda was in her late teens and early 20s when some of these pictures were taken that are being used for comparison. And yes, your body and your face does change as you age. However, for the most part, you're still gonna look exactly the same way you did a few years ago versus what you look like now, especially as a young person. And I see a prominent change in Jayda's face, and it's not a bad one, but there's just a change. Jayda, stop addressing these people. You've said enough at this point, and you have been honest about what you've done. So at this point, just let it fly. So our next story is about Lil Durk and his fiance, or I don't know what they are at this point, but allegedly him and India are back together. So Lil Durk posted an Instagram story with this mysterious hand basically in the camera frame and kind of touching his face. And you know, people perceive this to be India because who else would it be? But it was pretty much confirmed because the same birthmark or burn mark, not sure which one it is, that is on India's hand was in the video as well. So clearly the two are sitting in bed, seems like they're just chilling. Lil Durk looks like he got his groove back because he seems happy after looking tired and worn out for the last few months. I'm not gonna lie, I barely have thoughts on this because I genuinely think that this revolving cycle of going back to the man that causes you some type of embarrassment, insecurity, uncertainty, and heartache is way too normalized. And it's like when I speak against it, people literally tell me that I wish I had a Lil Durk or that I don't understand what it's like to really love someone. Now, I'll be real. No, I don't wish I had a Lil Durk, but the second part of that is true. I don't understand what it's really like to love someone. I don't think I've ever been in love. I don't think I've ever genuinely loved a man in a romantic way. So I will agree to that. However, I just feel like when you do stuff like leave your child's father or your boyfriend of any sort, there has to be more to it. And India is a very private person, so maybe there is and we just don't know. But I would have liked her to be single for a long time, really get that mental clarity that space and distance gives you, and then decide whether Lil Durk has changed enough for her to go back to him. Like, I will be honest enough to say that a lot of young women do take back a cheater. A lot of young women do have this revolving door with an ex-boyfriend, and a lot of young women won't get out of that situation because they've made it their life. So of course, I would love to tell y'all that she shouldn't take back a cheater, because you shouldn't, but the reality is too many women do, and men as well. And because we glorify toxicity and being a ride or die and sticking it out with somebody who you have kids with, this is kind of the result. And I wouldn't say that it just happens in the Black community, because I would be dead wrong, but I do think the Black community has a way of making it seem like it's okay. Like when I looked at the comment section of this post, nobody was under there saying anything along the lines of, oh, I wish India would do better, or I wish India would stand up, I wish India wouldn't run back to Durk, or I wish women would leave men who disrespected them or disregarded them and don't value them. Most people were in that comment section almost praising her for taking back her man, the same way they were doing Jayda and Lil Baby a week ago when they were spotted at a basketball game. So I'm done with this generation. I'm done giving good advice. Like, I'm not, but I do think that the reality is that we can preach to women that they should want to be done or distance themselves from this constant cycle of infidelity and disregarding of our feelings and our love. But I think most of these women are just complacent. They've struck a big pot of gold by getting with these multi-million-dollar high-profile men, and they know good and well that whoever they end up with is not going to give the same appeal as the guys that they're known to be with. And I think a lot of these girls are here to maintain the image of that man and the lifestyle that they've become accustomed to, and that's why a lot of this is pushed out as okay when it's really not. I would like to say if India likes it, then I love it, but I don't. But I do kind of understand, and as much as I don't agree, I've been there, I've done that, and you just gotta hope that people wake up and smell the coffee at some point. So we shall see. So our final story is about First Lady Jill Biden having the audacity and having the ghost, as they say in Nigeria, having the ghost to invite not only the winning team of the women's NCAA basketball championship, which was the LSU Tigers, to the White House, but also extending the invitation to the losing team, which was the University of Iowa. And for those of you that said that the reaction to Angel Reese, who is the star player for LSU, mimicking what Caitlin Clark did, who is the star player for Iowa, is not racist, well, here's a great example of how race is definitely a prominent part of this entire discussion. So let's take a look at what First Lady Jill Biden had to say.
NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Congratulations to both teams. So I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So, you know, we'll have LSU come. But you know what? I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too, because they played such a good game. So, right? So winners and losers, that's sportsmanship.
Is it though when you win, a participation trophy for everybody?
With all due respect to First Lady Jill Biden,
thank you,
unless we are doing this moving forward, having the winning team and the losing team show up at the White House, let's keep tradition, which is a special visit for the winner.
Because you won.
I don't know. But when the girl, I'm saying bring all the women.
But let's do that moving forward for every
When you've been pandering in politics for so long to Iowa, it's just a reflex. Even though he doesn't.
So for obvious reasons, this left a lot of people dumbfounded that this idea would even be proposed. Like the news clip said, since when do we invite losers and winners to the White House? It's a tradition that when the sports teams win these national championships, only the winner goes to the White House. I've never once seen in any year, let alone in any sport in the past, where the losing team gets an invitation. As the losing team, you are the second runner-up, meaning you are the runner-up, which means you don't get to run to the White House. You have to run back home. And I feel like if LSU was a different looking team, where the majority of their players were not women of color and particularly Black women, this conversation wouldn't even be a thing. This idea wouldn't even be a thing. This suggestion wouldn't even be a thing. The Iowa team is full of white girls, and I feel like that's why Jill Biden decided to say, let's invite both of them, because after the debacle with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, she probably felt sorry for them losing and wanted to give them a participation trophy. And I saw in the news the other day that there's this state in America, I don't remember which one it is, but that they're going going to start banning the idea of the participation trophy when it comes to kids. And that's a separate topic, and I get what they're trying to do, but I feel like this kind of proves why that state may have even proposed this bill, because since when do we award losers? Who gets awarded for losing? That doesn't make any sense. That ruins the competitiveness and the whole terminology of being a champion. So of course the general public was not here for this, and Angel in particular basically said that she declines the offer and that she would rather go to the Obamas. Now let me say this, I like Angel Reese thus far. I feel like she's unapologetic, and I like that she's outspoken, because so am I. But I do want to caution her in the way how she's reacting to certain things, because unfortunately for us black girls, we don't get the same benefit of the doubt. So I do think that she has the right to express her emotions in every way, but I just don't want her to end up being a caricature of the media, because I remember what they did to Sha'Carri Richardson a few years ago, who was an athlete also from LSU, and they lifted her up, they praised her, they championed her, and then when she became too outspoken or she was deemed too unpolished, then people were dragging her as soon as she started to lose. And so if LSU does not win next year when it comes to women's basketball, I'm pretty sure Angel Reese is going to be a media scapegoat. So I caution Angel Reese to not give them that, because that's what they're looking for. I feel like they try to provoke black women in the media to react. That way they can have evidence of you being unruly or having to eat your words later down the line. The second thing I want to say is that I don't think the solution is going to the Obamas. I hate to say this, I really do, but I do think there's a lot of black people in America who support Barack Obama because he's a president of color. But when you look into some of his administration, there's a lot of questionable things that I don't think anybody would agree with. So don't just blindly support somebody because they look similar to you. If you are truly a Democrat and you truly support him, then so be it. However, as much as I love Michelle Obama, and I do think that she is the epitome of what a black woman should be viewed as in America, I don't think all parts of Barack Obama's presidential reign is as innocent as people try to make it seem, especially black people. That's all I'm gonna say on that, because I don't do the politics and I don't like to talk about that stuff on YouTube, so maybe on Patreon. So just getting into the reaction of social media when they heard that Jill Biden was potentially extending an invitation to both teams, let's take to Twitter. So somebody said, Jill Biden is a white woman. Of course she wants the president to invite the team of predominantly white women that lost when the winning team of black women comes to the White House. She wants to give white women the same privilege that black women earned. This is America. Another user said, if Iowa had won, you think the Bidens would be inviting LSU? Of course not. Whiteness is a hell of a drug. Another user said, no ma'am. When black women win a national championship, they should not be forced to share the stage with the losing team. Black women are the most loyal constituency of the Democratic Party. The White House needs to walk this back as soon as possible. And another user said, very respectfully, Madam First Lady, that's not how it works. LSU won, LSU comes to the White House. Iowa understands this and would definitely respectfully decline the invitation. And then let's listen to the clip of Shannon Sharpe and what he had to say on ESPN about. All in all, I 1000% agree with the backlash, and the fact that Jill Biden was actually at the game and she witnessed all of this and still felt the need to extend that invitation, that's just very disrespectful and honestly questionable on her character. And I hate how they tried to flip it into, oh, we just want to support all women. We want all women to be celebrated. That's horseshit, because you can celebrate the woman who won. That is celebrating women. I feel that Jill Biden's comments were just tone deaf, and I feel like she should really issue a public apology, because what she said was really hurtful, even though it wasn't meant to be. And I think that being that black women are the biggest supporters of the Democratic Party, she most definitely did not read the room. Again, congrats to LSU women's basketball team on the national championship. I'm dedicating my song Ballin' to you guys this season, and I hope that the rest of this period of what should be a celebration for these women is not as controversial as it has been. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, make sure y'all stream my song Ceremony. The link is down below to my United Masters. Go and run that up for me. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Never ever make a nigga think that he up, cause you a queen and I'm a queen. Now shout out to Latifah. Security in the back with a racket like Serena. Ex nigga crying, laugh at him like a hyena. Like damn, what you saying, daddy? Yeah, I know I got it, fatty. Pussy talking to him, talk my shit, yeah, I be getting catty. Play with me, I bet you won't. Fatty on his chest and now he calling me a stethoscope. Pink fit, look thick, I'm looking good, incredible. Cut a nigga off, I'm coming through like a semicolon. Mansion in the motherland, December come, that's where we going. Body have my niggas frozen, niggas put my picture up and yeah, they go and get the lotion. And I'm the one they check up on. Feeling so lucky, getting green like a leprechaun. Run a few errands with the bag with the checkers on it. Push it on the floor because it's mine and I'm stepping on it. Get the cheese and keep it wet, so yeah, he call me macaroni. Niggas on my line and now they begging me for matrimony. Detroit nigga touchdown and we to the Coney. Pat it up, big body nigga and he grabbing on me. did. Cheers to my success, now every day is a ceremony. I know you crazy for me, baby. Yeah, you diagnosed, never ever been enough. That's why I do the most.